What is going on out there, peeps? All right, in my never ending quest to either try to debunk this damn thing or prove that it exists, the fight continues. Now, this one is interesting. Very, very interesting. Here we go again into the quantum financial system. But this website is definitely a little bit interesting. We will get into that here in just a moment. If you're going to buy gold and silver, please give a consideration to our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. You guys know I have the alternative website where I'm able to post videos I cannot hear on this channel. But there are some really good ones on there, especially dealing with the subject matter. I highly recommend you go check this out if you haven't already. In addition to that, this one as well. Okay, there's a lot of good information, a lot of current stuff in there. And, a lot of people are starting to get over to the website, which I appreciate. But it really gives you an opportunity to express your opinion on subject matters or show you guys information that would not otherwise have been passed on. Okay, so shout out to Kyle. Kyle shot me this over on Twitter and brought this to my attention. So I want to give Kyle a shout out. You guys know we have Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. It's free to join, so come on over here and join us. The link is down below in the description. So let's get into this. Here we go. Another website talking about the quantum financial system. This is definitely interesting. This looks a lot more official than the Frank Swiss one. Now, having said that, I have talked to the Frank Swiss people. They have a specialist, but they won't go and do an interview. So I don't know what to think of that. That's weird that website is now talking about the QFS, and now this website is talking about the QFS. A person that's very credible and very, very respected. What's the best way to word this without giving it away? Anyways, a very respected individual is also validated as. On top of that, a friend of mine, again, who works for the State Department, said it does exist. I'm just looking for proof so I could share it. There's a lot of people out there in the YouTube environment that are just throwing enough crap up against the wall hoping something sticks. I was just joking. I said, actually, I talked to Kelly yesterday about this. I said, you know what sucks? These people go out there and just make this crap up. They heard about it. They have no evidence that it exists whatsoever. People have been lying about the QFS system for so long. And then I'm busting my ass trying to find out if this thing is real or not. And the one day that I prove that it exists, I actually bring evidence, unlike other people. Then they're going to sit back and go, see? And everybody's going to see, that person said it existed. See, they're credible. No, they're not credible. They're not credible at all. They didn't do any research. They didn't do anything to bring this stuff to your guys' attention. They just talk about it. They have no idea whether the thing is real or not. None whatsoever. There is no intel. There is no deep state. There is none of this. I mean, there's no deep state. There's a deep state. But what I mean, is they don't have no secret access to get information. You guys stop falling for that. And then, so I'm like, man, I kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. But the truth of the matter is I do want to know about this, and I do want to prove that it exists. I will be the first. I don't want to hear this crap about, well, so-and-so said this already. You're way behind. No, they didn't. I debunked everything they ever put on the internet. Their information is false. Does this thing exist? We're going to find out. One way or a damn another, man, I'm going to find out. What is the quantum financial system? Blockchain. Quantum financial system, also known as the QFS, has become a technical buzzword. Yes, it has, especially in the field of finance. The increase in popularity of digital technology has exacerbated the cybercrime problems to a large extent as well. The more we depend on digital media, the greater the opportunity there is for cybercrimes to take or to get away with injustices. Here's the other thing. Wait till you guys get to the bottom of this, because they do talk about GESARA, which is, I'm starting to question this website, but at the same time, it looks legit. I mean, at what level are people willing to go through to try to con people? I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of cons out there, but this would be taking it to a whole nother level. They're not asking for anything on this website. I have reached out to them, so hopefully they'll reach back. I'd like to interview somebody from this particular company and see what happens. Naturally, banks and other financial institutions form a primary targets for most cybercrimes. In response to this, many banks have made it a point to update their systems and practices to prevent occurrences of such crimes. This means financial institutions have finally begun to embrace emerging technology that can help meet the expectations of today's consumers. This is where the QFS comes to the rescue. The future-proof system is being extolled as the future of finance transactions or financial transactions as a whole. It is not developed to run on conventional computers, but through a quantum computer placed on a satellite. Now, I've heard this before. Okay? In order to provide maximum security, the quantum financial system is well protected by the secret space programs. See, this is when things start to get into an area of, I start questioning it. Because they are covering all the key phrases, all the key names, all the key companies, all the key things that circle our little arena of NESARA GESARA. That doesn't mean it's not right, but I start to question it. The secret space program? Well, if you're mentioning it, then I guess it's not secret now, is it? Let that sink in. Several experts believe that quantum technology could solve problems related to security, processing power, and data efficiency. In this article, we will provide a deeper insight into the quantum financial system, are the role, and they could potentially play in the financial, and the role they could play, potentially play in the financial world. Okay? So, what is quantum computing? Quantum computing makes use of the laws of quantum mechanics to process any kind of information. Traditionally, computers use long strings of bits, which encode either a 0 or a 1. A quantum computer, on the other hand, uses quantum bits or qubits. I remember when I was younger, I used to play Qbert. Not the same. I'm aging myself. It is expected that the quantum computers will develop the abilities superior to traditional computers by the next decade. Yeah, of course they are. You know what one of the biggest fears are about the quantum system right now? The quantum computing I'm talking about. Quantum computing can literally go hack into traditional computers right now at net-breaking speed. There's nothing you could do about it. The system processes information way too quick. So if they wanted to, they can hack into everything. And that's pretty dangerous. There will be engendered and sizable increases in the processing power over the silicon chips we use today. The use of the qubits results in more secure, faster transactions, which would be a game changer for the financial industry. It would. But the setback, okay, so what makes the quantum computing, remember I told you, I heard about quantum technology way back in the 90s, but it was in two areas. Encryption was for the security part of it, but the quantum system was going to be a huge boost for the healthcare industry because it's able to process information and analyze it in real time. That was a great thing. But I also heard the problem that it has with banking and finance in general is it has a problem with its ability to, what's the best way to word? Here's the best way to word it. The powers that be don't like this system because they could not figure out how to corrupt it, is what it was. It could not be corrupted. That's generalizing. So, the way they wanted to set it up was in a way where they could mislead people, and it just wouldn't do that. So now you have this AI technology now that's different. The AI technology tends to stray and start picking up habits from humans as it learns. So basically, it becomes prone to, yeah, corruption. That's how it was explained to me. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? He's like, yeah, AI technology can become very human-like, and it could lead to corruption. So I was like, wow, that's crazy to think about. So I don't remember exactly what the issue was, but I just remember it being put to me in a nutshell, and I was like, so it just won't be corrupt. Okay. Now, I don't know how real that is, but I remember there was an issue with its ability to do financial transactions, even though numbers are just that simple. But it's not just that. There's something else about financial systems that was causing a lot of problems for them. And, at the time, it didn't seem like it was going to be usable. So, anyways, it says the use of the qubits result in a more secure, faster transactions, which would be a game changer for the financial industry. Qubits offer better flexibility, as it is possible to use a combination of O's and ones simultaneously instead of one at a time, like in classical computers. Put simply, qubits will be able to store more data than traditional bits. Okay, but that's a good thing. When we start getting this advanced in technology, my concern is the people who are in control of it. You have to really be able to trust them. And we have seen over the last few years that our own government can't be trusted at all. And that includes our intelligence agencies, our banking, nor our judicial system. So it's really just depends on who's in control. Anyways, the fact that it can store more data than traditional bytes, this improves the ability to quickly analyze data and spot patterns. According to Bloomberg, Google's most advanced quantum computer, it's called a Sycamore, can solve computational tasks that would take traditional models 10,000 years within 3 minutes. Yeah, that's why its ability to hack is scary. How did the quantum financial system even come into being? It all began when people began noticing the flaws in today's financial system. A few prominent individuals joined hands to do something about these observations by making an effort to advance the financial system with the help of quantum computing and distributed ledger technology, which would be your blockchain. Hence, the quantum financial system was developed and subsequently introduced in a new era of banking and monetary transactions. The system is designed to support full tracking of tangible assets like gold, oil, platinum, and others, rather than paper currency with little systematic value. Okay, that would be nice. To what point are they able to track? You know what I mean? Again, it really just depends on who's in control. With this system, every single sovereign currency is backed by gold or assets, which is perfect. That's what you want. This can even guarantee their sustainability. I'll get it out. So this can guarantee their sustainability. Good. Transactions will run on the QFS VPN and can be used for the purchases of all goods and services. The QFS is superior when it comes to photonic technology. It is evident from its clocking in at 3 to 5 trillion frames per second. Good Lord. It replaced obsolete IP dynamic routing with the true physics GPS authentication between the sender and the receiver routing, while upholding 100% financial security and transparency of all currency holders. See, that's the part that makes me nervous. I don't want people knowing my business. So how does the QFS system work? QFS often stored and operated in a satellite server based on quantum computing. This is because QC is more secure, quantum computing that is, and advanced. Because of its pattern of processing, quantum computing uses 2 or more quantum states together to create another state by firing electrons through semiconductors using the configurable pulse of light, which results in the fastest state of speed, which is light. This is why quantum computers store much more information and deliver more speed than current state computers. Typically, the QFS will assign a digital number to every dollar, euro, or yen found in every bank account across the world, okay, and will then monitor it in real time. The physical GPS location between sender and receiver will be set up to provide unbreakable security. I mean, that's good, but again, if this is the way for them to introduce a new banking system to us that we feel like, hey, this is great, but no, that's just their way to control us, I'm not for that. This means that you will be able to find out exactly where it went, when it was transferred, who sent it, with your login information, and which account received it. All I hear is, the government infringing on your privacy is all I hear. The QFS AI will keep track of fluctuations and will manage all bonding conditions. This means that any AI algorithms are allowed to control the global financial network unless the highest level of approval is given. Only gold-backed currencies that process a digital gold certificate can participate in transactions through the QFS. The gold certificates will have a serial number as a reference on a piece of gold held in the reserve that backs the currency. Okay, I can see how that would work. It is impossible for it to be stolen or taken out of secure vaults where they are stored. This is where the term gold-backed currency comes from. It needs to reference back to a piece of gold in the vault that is backing it. No, that's not where the term comes from. There was no singular identifiable piece of gold linked to any one piece of currency. They just had the gold, you had the currency. Man, this thing is very questionable, but definitely interesting. Asset-backed currency refers to currency that is established based on its assets within the country of origin. These assets are considered to be justification for establish the amount of currency available in the country. But all denominations of currency need to be placed within the QFS and must be given a gold certificate in order to stay active within the QFS. If the assets are mined or extracted from the earth, they will be sold on the marketplace as with any other commodities, which would be good. So the characteristics of the QFS system, okay? Here's where it starts to get interesting. It will encompass a universal network for transferring assets, backed funds. Has the capability to replace the U.S. centrally controlled SWIFT system. Can protect all involved parties from corruption and manipulation within the banking system. Ensures that banks are monitored and protected with regard to agreed upon contract of the transfer of fund process. Independent from existing centralized system, not a cryptocurrency, but an asset-backed digital currency. The goal of the QFS system is to promote the growth of every single country, including third world countries, by improving the current financial system. The system that we use today tends to create a debt crisis. The system doesn't create it, the people who manage it. That's why it makes a difference. If this thing is real, it makes a difference on who's managing it. Now I don't want to hear, the White Hat's got it, Trump's got it. There's no proof of that. Man, I already showed you that China has it. But there's negotiations going on between China and the United States as to how this thing will be handled. By implementing the QFS, countries that are in debt will be able to repay it by providing something valuable. For instance, they can export their natural minerals and resources. Okay, I kind of get that. Guide to use in Uniswap exchange. So consider third world countries in Africa, Asia. Consider third world countries in Africa. There's no third world countries in Africa or Asia, is there? Okay, I get it. I get it. There are. So I was going to say, shouldn't it say something like consider third world countries, such as, but these are not countries, these are continents. Africa, Asia, and Middle East with large amounts of foreign debt and devalued currencies. Despite the fact that they ultimately repay their debts, the strength of their currency becomes weaker. That's because it's being manipulated by the wrong people. This is why many of them have to resort to borrowing more, continuing the vicious cycle. However, the QFS, these countries can trade their excess natural resources, such as gold or oil, so as to reap the complete rewards and financial power of the resources. I like the way that sounds, but here's where I start questioning things. Each country is required to be GESARA, Global Economic Security and Reform Act, compliant to participate in the QFS, else they will ultimately be excluded from international trade. A particular quantitative formula is used to determine the amount of currencies available, which is to be gold-backed in the QFS. The result achieved from using the formula will put forth a fair value of each country's assets when compared to one and another. Now, the thing that grabs me about this is I told you guys, and I was aware of this, and this had been going on. There was a group of people that went country to country, and this I know for sure. And they were evaluating each country's assets, which is kind of weird because it almost ties into this. Now, I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying it makes you wonder. When gold prices rise, the currency value will accordingly rise as well. This results in no net change to the par value of all currencies. The formula includes assets on the ground, the country's economy, its population, which is one of the country's assets. Yeah, the slave labor. And a number of other parameters to determine the value of the country's currency, as it should. This formula should be applied to each country so that all currencies are on par with the other countries. The application of the formula and the common value of all goods means that one country's currency must possess an identical value as another country's currency. This is referred to as a global currency reset. The reset of all currencies on par with all other currencies, and each one has a gold certificate to validate authenticity. It's a requirement of each country to use the reset formula and apply it worldwide standard to ensure the proper functioning of the QFS system. So very, very interesting. There are other articles down here. So again, it gives the appearance of a legit website, but how hard is it to create this? And what would be the goal? Our mission to navigate our readers through the wonders of innovation, technology, and business development. Okay. So this definitely, the thing I don't like is there's no phone number. You can send them a message and they're supposed to get back to you. So if I go to blockchain here, what does it look like? What are they showing us? I mean, it isn't that hard these days just to go together, throw together some crap. And now I did hear about the Uniswap exchange. Very interesting so far, but these are just news articles. Artificial intelligence, let's see what it says. They've grabbed other news articles to make it look good. So again, we have another website claiming to have knowledge of the QFS system. see, look at here, category healthcare. Where's these other categories? What kind of cheesy website is this? No category for the BFSI, retail. This thing was just put up in 2020. Yeah, see, the fact that when you go to these industries and you click them and nothing comes up, I'd be concerned about. Hire our team. Okay. So they have a team of individuals who will come by and set you up in the QFS system. See here, you put your information in there. I did send them my information because I'm curious. So, I'm not sold on this 100%. It is interesting. They are touching all the right buttons as usual. So that makes me question everything. You guys let me know what you think. How legitimate does this look? At least to Frank Swiss, you could call a number. There's no phone numbers on here. I have talked to an individual at the Frank Swiss. They just won't go on the damn record is what it is. So that's it for now, you guys. I just wanted to bring this to your attention. It was brought to my attention. How real is it? I have no idea. But again, when you come to these industries and you can't find any information, that doesn't seem like a very thorough website. They touch on all the right keywords that we talk about when it comes to quantitative financial system, blockchain technology. They're touching all the keywords. This GESARA on here. We talked about all these things. So it almost looks too fishy. Well, it does. It looks too fishy. All right. So we'll see if they call me back and somebody's willing to come online and talk about it and do it in a way that's convincing. Then we'll find out. All right. But I wanted to bring it to your attention, and I appreciate Kyle bringing it to my attention. And again, I share everything that I find about it with you guys, and sooner or later we're going to be able to prove that it exists or it doesn't. One or the two. All right. So don't be so sold on it 100%. That this thing is there until we can bring proof. That's it for now. You guys let me know what you think. Does this look like a legitimate website to you? It's called NButte. I will leave the link down below. You guys can check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. All right? That's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I truly do appreciate it. I'm out.